Guys, in this video, we are going over 5 soccer tips and tricks for beginners. So if you're new to the sport or you just want to brush up on certain fundamentals that are going to help you improve your game, that's coming up next. Hi, guys. Hi guys, my name is Dave and this is Simplysoccer, where we are releasing videos every single week to help you improve your game and stand out on the pitch. So if that's something that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button and bell icon so you don't miss any of the content that we release. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you get my free ebook, Game Changer, which gives you 33 different ways to improve your game and stand out on the pitch as a footballer. Again, that's 100% free down below. Now, I wanted to dedicate this video to the beginners, the people who are fresh to the sport. However, this will still be helpful for those of you who are advanced because, as many of you know, the fundamentals are things you have to work on throughout your football career. And many of these things I'm going to be giving you that are for beginners, you still need to refine as you get better. But if you are a beginner, this is going to be the perfect video for you. Let's get into the first one. The first one, guys, is start where you're at. And what I mean is start off small. A lot of players tendency, and most people when they start something new, is to compare themselves to others. So someone who might be new to soccer, maybe only playing for a year, might be comparing themselves to someone they see online, like maybe someone who's younger or someone who started before them. Like maybe someone who's been playing for 5 years and they go, God damn it, how am I supposed to get that good? I'm not that good. I'll never get there, whatever it is. Remember, guys, you're always running your own race. You're going at your own speed and improving at your own rate. Now, you can do things to definitely speed that up, but comparing yourself to others is not going to help you. Don't look at the person who has been playing longer than you and wonder why you're not as good as them yet. The best thing you can do is, again, always just try and be better than you were yesterday or a week ago or a month ago in terms of your skill in this sport. Because if you continually show up, you do the things we're going to be going over in this video, you are going at a rate that you can handle, you're going to improve. But by comparing yourself to others, you're only going to drag yourself down, discourage yourself. You're going to, have a very dense energy when it comes to this. So make sure you're not doing that and you're focusing solely on yourself and not comparing to people outside of you. Next is to focus on the fundamentals. The fundamentals are the building blocks of every other skill you're going to use in the sport. And so if you focus on those first and you really hone those in, you really drill those in, you get really good at those, you're going to be able to do so much more in football. For example, I consider one of the most fundamental, the most fundamental skill to be ball control, because when you work on your ball control, you're also at the same time working on so many different things. Your ball control is going to lead to better dribbling, better skill moves, better shooting, better passing, some other fundamentals that I mentioned there. And so if you're working heavily on these fundamentals, you're going to improve other areas. You're going to be setting yourself up for more advanced things later. But so many players, especially in the beginning, go after that shiny object, those cool things. And there's nothing wrong with going for that if that's just what you want to do. But if you're looking to improve and get better, you really want to focus on those fundamental practices. Your passing and receiving, your ball control, your dribbling, things of that nature. Because again, the better you get at those things, the better a player you will be as you keep progressing. Next is to start playing in matches as often as you can. Because I go over this a lot, but there's a huge difference between individual training and even team training versus actually being in game situations where you have to put all of your training together and allow it to function effectively in a match. Because at the end of the day, all the practice, if you're trying to play competitively, is so that you can perform well on match day. And so if you're a beginner, you want to be getting yourself into game situations as often as possible so you can learn quickly. Now, I'm not going to lie, if you haven't played before, it might be difficult at first, but don't shy away from it because you will just get better the more match experience that you have. And again, you will work on your individual skills and training, which will then transfer to the matches, and you'll start picking up on patterns on how to play effectively in games. But you need to be playing against an opponent who's actually trying to take the ball off you. You need to be playing against a goalkeeper who's, he's going to come out and try and get the ball off you as well at your feet. You need to be playing with players who are going to make those runs, who are going to combine with you, all of these different things. You need to be, in situations where you need to be smart about your positioning. And the more you can play in matches, the faster you're going to grow when you combine it with good individual training. Next is a huge one, and it's to watch professional matches often. Now, not necessarily in person, because not everyone can do that, but everyone watching this video can at least watch live professional matches or the highlights of live professional matches. And the reason you want to do this is because these guys are the best of the best. They're the ones getting paid to play football. So they must must be doing something right. They're also getting trained by professional coaches, professional organizations that are trying to set everything up just so that on match day their team can win. And so by watching these players, the habits they have, what they're doing, the mistakes even they make, you can apply these to your own game and also avoid certain things like the mistakes so that you can improve quickly. You want to watch these games and then ask yourself, how can I take what they're doing and apply it to my own? What can I do in order to be more like these guys? And yeah, that may seem like there's a huge gap between you and those players, but you still want to be emulating the best players. You'll see at the professional level, for example, that a lot of them are using the fundamentals more than anything else in matches, which is why I tell you to do that. But make sure you're watching pro matches often, you're analyzing what they're doing, and you're applying it to your own training and your own matches. And last one, guys, is to make sure you're playing for the right reasons. I really get the feeling that so many players start playing for certain reasons that aren't their own. They're told, you have to play for because you want to become a professional or something of that nature. Understand the reasons that you're actually playing. Look, if your goal is to just test yourself and get to the highest level you can, then that's the reason you should be playing. If your goal is you just want to play for fun, then that should be the reason you're playing. And everything else you do in the sport should be centered around that. But again, I always get the sense that a lot of players are being pressured into, you need to become a professional, you need to do this, and if you don't, you're not good enough, or whatever it is. So make sure when you are deciding that you want to play football, you understand why you are playing it. Because if you lose that along the way, you're not going to train consistently, you're not going to stick with it. But let's say your goal is to actually become a pro, and that's what you know, and that's what you truly want to do. By having that knowledge, being aware of why you're playing, having that why, it's going to help you stick with it in the long run, but it will also help you shape your training differently. For example, if you just want to play for fun and you just want to make sure you get pretty good at this skill that you really enjoy. So make sure you're playing for the right reasons, what those reasons are, and don't allow outside pressure to tell you why you should be playing. Don't let anyone say you should be playing for this reason or that reason or to whatever it is. Understand why you play. And there's nothing wrong, for example, just playing for fun. It doesn't mean you have to go and try and become the next Lionel Messi. If you just want to play for fun because you enjoy it, play for fun because you enjoy it. If you play because you're super serious about it and you love it and you want to do it as a career, then go down that route. But be honest with yourself and make sure you're playing for those right reasons. And a little bonus one, guys, it's obvious, but I have to throw it in there, is be consistent. If your goal is to improve, let's say, to get to the highest level you can, you have to be consistent. You have to be doing deliberate training. Now, again, like we mentioned earlier, do what you can and don't bite off more than you can chew, because it's very easy to burn out or it's very easy to get discouraged. So again, you're taking baby steps here. You're not going to be doing the same as someone who's been playing for 10 years if you've only been playing for 6 months. So understand that. Have a little discernment to know what it is you should be doing. But as with anything in life, any skill-based anything, you need to show up and be consistent if you want to get better at it. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know in the comments, which of these do you need to work on the most? I would love to hear your thoughts. As always, check out the other 2 videos I have up on screen if you want to continue to improve your game, stand out on the pitch. If you haven't already, get my free ebook, Game Changer, down below, and I'll see you in the next video.